In today's video, I'm going to be going over my pros and cons on the brand new Samsung Galaxy S26 Ultra. Stay tuned. All right, everyone. Hopefully, you guys are having a good day. Hopefully, everyone is safe out there. We have the brand new Samsung Galaxy S26 Ultra in the house right here. I've had this device for a couple weeks now, and I think it's time to give you guys my pros and cons on this device. Of course, we're going to go over some of the things that I enjoy about this device, and of course, some of the things that I do not enjoy about this device. Without further ado, we're going to go ahead and start off with the pros on the Galaxy S26 Ultra. First and foremost, if you guys want a big display, get the Galaxy S26 Ultra. This is the biggest display out of the lineup. It's a 6.9-inch display. We have a beautiful dynamic LTPO AMOLED display on this. We also have 120 Hz refresh rate, HDR10 plus. We also have 2600 nits peak brightness, so this is going to look really, really good in direct sunlight. A 91% screen to body ratio, so a very, very good screen to body ratio on this device. Our resolution is actually 1440 by 3120. And we have about a 500 ppi on this as well. So a big, beautiful display. 91% screen to body ratio is actually pretty impressive for the size of this display. So no huge bezels on this, and there shouldn't be, of course, because it's $1,300. But overall, amazing display on this. This is essentially the best display you're going to get out of Samsung's lineup right now. Now, of course, I brought up that there is also a privacy display right here, and you guys can turn this on for certain applications, and of course, you guys can turn this on for certain notifications as well. But if someone's looking at your device from the side, it goes completely blank unless you're looking at it head on. This is one of the coolest pieces of technology that Samsung has brought out in the last few years, and I have to say I've been really enjoying this feature right here. This is definitely a showstopper, and it's definitely one of the reasons why I think getting the S26 Ultra over the S26 Plus is a must. But yeah, first pro is going to have to be the display on this, and of course that privacy display we get as well. Second, of course, is going to be the processor that we have inside of here. Of course, we have a little bit of a bump in terms of our CPU. We have the Snapdragon 8 Elite Gen 5 processor inside of here, and we can also get up to 16 gigabytes of RAM if we get the 1 terabyte version. However, the base model has 12 gigabytes of RAM, and paired with this processor, it actually does amazing work. So of course, you're going to be able to use Samsung DeX wireless perfectly, so you're going to have that desktop experience. Gaming is going to be great. Off the rip, if you open up a video game, all of the graphical settings are going to be maxed out on this. I've noticed on all of the games that I've played so far. So yeah, games are going to run great on this. This does get a little bit warm when you do play for long periods of time, but overall the experience is just so decent on this. Graphic quality is great, shadow quality, everything looks amazing on here. Obviously, your day-to-day tasks and stuff like that are going to be a breeze with this processor. So overall, very capable processor inside of here, and one of the best out right now. Next pro has to be the strong, long-lasting battery inside of here. Also, what's really cool is we get a faster 60-watt wired charging experience on this device now. So this charges up fairly quick. I believe it's about 75% in like 30 minutes, which is crazy. Very big battery on this device, 5,000 milliamp battery. It is going to last all day for you power users out there. So if you're going to work or you're going to school, you're not going to be able to kill this battery unless you're just constantly gaming while you're at work. And at that point, why do you have a job? But yeah, great battery life on the S26 Ultra. One of the best experiences so far. And also, I've heard the Exynos processor for the people that are overseas has been actually working very well with the battery as well. Not just the Snapdragon 8 Elite Gen 5, but the other battery as well. The one that I have is the Snapdragon 8 Elite Gen 5, and even with this processor, the battery does last a full day if you're not absolutely trying to kill it with video games. Next pro has to be the cameras on the Galaxy S26 Ultra. We have some pretty consistent cameras on this device. Some really nice artificial intelligence enhancements in here, and we've actually got some other enhancements by way of our cameras as well, which we'll talk about in a second. Of course, our camera setup is going to be a quad camera setup. We have a 200 megapixel wide-angle camera, 10 megapixel telephoto camera. We also have a 50 megapixel periscope telephoto lens as well, and we also have a 50 megapixel ultra-wide lens on this device as well, capable of recording 8K at 24 or 30 frames per second. And overall, overall, my experience on this camera so far has been really solid. A couple things that have actually changed between the S25 Ultra and S26 Ultra is a 47% increase in the light intake in the S26 Ultra. So of course, more light means cleaner shots, better dynamic range, and far less noise. We also have smarter auto detection, so Samsung is leaning way harder into the computational photography. So the camera system in the S26 Ultra can now automatically detect low light scenarios and adjust settings in real time. So yeah, S26 Ultra camera is pretty dynamic. If you're wanting the best camera out of the bunch, the S26 Ultra is of course going to be better than the S26 Plus, and of course the regular S26. So we get some pretty crisp photos overall. Obviously, great dynamic range. And what's really cool is if we go 3x zoom, 5x zoom, even 10x zoom, those photos are still going to come out nice and crispy. Next up has to be that we have Android 16 out of the box, One UI 8.5. So we actually have one of the strongest security patch and software update policies in the game right now at 7 years. And I know a lot of people out there are going to be like, why do I need this for 7 years? I don't need this device for 7 years. I'm not going to have this device for 7 years. The thing that people don't understand is there are a lot of people that hold on to a device for 7 years, especially if that device is $1,300. Some people are getting this device on a plan and they're not going to pay it off for 5, 6, 7 years. So yeah, this is a very capable phone, and I feel like this phone can last almost a decade because it has so much power inside of here. Also, a lot of the artificial intelligence stuff that, we upgrade in phones later on has to do with software experience. So I feel like a lot of people are actually going to hold on to this device for 7 years. So those are my pros that I have found so far on the S26 Ultra. The next thing I want to get into, of course, is the cons on this device. And the first one is going to be the display trade-off. So of course, we have the privacy display on here, as you guys can see as we turn it on. We get that nice privacy display. However, there is going to be a trade-off with this privacy filter. It can reduce resolution and cause eye strain for some users. So if you guys do want to have this on the entire time you are out, you may strain your eyes, and also the display quality isn't going to be as good. And for a lot of people, that is going to be a good enough trade-off. They don't care about the display resolution all the time. Maybe they're only watching videos when they're at home, but you're going to have to suffer not having the best resolution and best visual quality if you do turn that on, and if you have it on permanently. I like to turn it on when I'm outside. I don't really turn it on when I'm at my pad, but overall, that is the first con about this device. Second con has to be that there is no native MagSafe on here, so this does require a specialized case for your magnetic accessories to go ahead and wireless charge. So not the coolest thing in there. I thought Samsung was at least going to do this with the S26 Ultra, however, they did not do that. So that's, of course, the second con about this device. Next con is this is going to be a lot less of an upgrade from the S25 Ultra to the S26 Ultra, and obviously there's not a ton of people upgrading year after year from their S25 Ultra device or their Ultra device in general, unless you're on like a payment plan or you're renting out a phone or something like that. You're doing something specific. For a lot of people that buy their phones outright, they're going to hold on to their device for a long time. But when it comes to the upgrades from the S25 Ultra to the S26 Ultra, they are very, very minimal. Of course, we have some few key differences in the computational photography between the S25 Ultra and S26 Ultra. We also have the inclusion of the brand new privacy display. But other than that, we really don't get anything new. We get a little bit of a better wired charge from 45 watts to now 60 watt wired. And we also get 15 watt wireless to 25 watt wireless charge. But not crazy jumps coming from the S25 Ultra to the S26 Ultra. The other thing is also we went from the S25 Ultra that had a titanium frame on that device all the way down to an aluminum frame again. So we're getting less build quality on the brand new S26 Ultra compared to the S25 Ultra. Not that a lot of people are going to even notice that. But overall, yeah, not a huge jump going from the S25 Ultra to the S26 Ultra. Just a few different incremental upgrades that we saw right here. So probably not not enough for someone to upgrade from their S25 Ultra to the S26 Ultra. Next con is going to be that the S Pen still lacks Bluetooth. So we don't have any Bluetooth inside of here. Obviously, a lot of people are not going to care about this. A lot of people just want the new privacy display. They want a, bigger display in general, better resolution. They want a faster charging rate. They want a better overall experience. They want that privacy display in this, and they don't care about the stylus all that much. And honestly, for me, when I did get my first Ultra device, I forgot about the stylus altogether, so it wasn't that big of a deal for me that this doesn't have Bluetooth. But for a lot of people like animators and people who take notes and do all that type of stuff, you are missing out on a few different features that we did have in the past, and it kind of feels like a regression on Samsung's part, going down to an S Pen that doesn't have Bluetooth. And for last con, we have a triple whammy right here. The device is big, the device is heavy, and the device is expensive. So if you're not willing to cough up $1,300 or start out a contract with Verizon, AT&T, or whatever other carrier that you have out there, this device is going to be very expensive. After tax, it's going to be something like $1,500 almost. And of course, not only is this device expensive, but it is heavy. It is a big, bulky device. So if you guys do not want an almost 7-inch phone inside of your pocket, this is probably not the device to get. This is also more than 7 ounces as well. So you're getting very close to half a pound right here. And that's something that a lot of people don't want to lug around in their pocket. So those, of course, are going to be cons for specific people. A lot of people don't care that it's heavy. A lot of people don't care that it's big. A lot of people, honestly, like that type of stuff. But overall, those are going to be some cons for specific people out there. So yeah, guys, those were my pros and cons on the brand new Galaxy S26 Ultra. If you guys have any more, of course, leave them in the comment section down below. I'd love to hear about what you guys have to say about this device. But yeah, hopefully you enjoyed this video. Drop a like down below, hit the subscribe button, and hit the notification bell to be notified every time I upload a new video. This has been Safon from TechRight. Peace out, Tech Gang.